have a panel discussion. You might have some questions. I know you heard Honorable Kawale speak, and then we'll also have some amazing panelists here. We have a lawyer, we have a creative, we have a chief, Tilinda Fumu, we have an MP. So whatever kind of leader you want to be, there's somebody here probably like you on this panel. So we're just gonna get to know them. I think we will start on this end, and I'll just ask a question to start with. I'll just ask, kuti mutuze pang'ono, kuti ndinu ndani, a honorable, ananena CV, ine koma mungoti kumbusa pang'ono, in case tayiwala, kena kono tafunsa mfumu.
All right, zikomo kwambiri, Sam Kawale, member of Parliament ndimayimira kudowa PM Sakambewa timatidowa North East constituency ndikumene ndimayimira kuyambira 2014 mpaka na panopa mwachisomo cha Mulungu ratisankhaso kuti ndikhale nduna yoyang'anira zamalo koma sizikutanthauza kuti ndikamachoka pano muzindipempha maplot
kungoti ku airwing kwina kwako kuti akhati kuona kuti ku bypass uku nde tiyankhulana. Okay, Tilindi Inkosi Kachindamoto. Mami mutuze kuti ndinu ndani?
Hi, ndine Snr Chief Kachindamoto, the first woman Ngoni chief in Malawi.
Pamenepo. Okay. Bali ya uku Tilindi Zara, lawyer, otimenyela nkhondo pa Malawi pano. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning. I am Zara Liabunya. I am a lawyer by profession, as Chikondi has said, but I'll explain a bit more in terms of what I do as we go on.
Okay, great. Kumalizilokuna kwakoko kuli amayanga mati anyamata ometa mbali. Tati uzeni kuti kodi ndinu ndani?
Ndine nyamata ometa mbali. All right, ineo ndi Kelvin Gumbi, KBG for short. I'm an entrepreneur, so all things art, talk to me, and we're gonna have a great discussion.
Yeah. Okay. So, mwatiuza kuti ndinu ndani, komano ndungofuna ndiziwe kuti mu position yanu ya leadership, mu sector yanu, ngati lawyer, ngati creative, ngati inkosi, ngati MP, kuti kodi inuyo mwagwisila ntchito position yanu kupanga bring about change yotani, chasintha ndishani pamene inuyo munalowa position imeneyo ndikukhazikika. Inkosi tiyambe ndi inuyo.
Ayi, titolodi kuti ndizoona pali zambiri zimene zasintha zimene mbuyomu sizimachitika komanso sizimaoneka. Ineyo ndikatha kunena kuti sindimayembekezera kuti nkudzakhala mfumu. Chifukwa ndimadziwa kuti mzimayi sangakhale mfumu koma azibambo. Fasi tingathe upita ukamenya nawo nkhondo tidzikangolira umene koma azibambo adzikamenya dzibhakera komanso ponya chani mipaliro. So for me, I have been working with Zomba Theological College as a college secretary for 27 years.
Okay.
So I didn't even dream that one day I will be a chief. Even my husband was a businessman in Zomba.
Yeah.
Yes, we get married, and I have been 3 boys, and I reached 3 because I want a girl. Yeah. Maybe this time a boy, this time a boy, this time a boy. So I said, oh, thank you, God. This is enough. Yes, so it was in December when Loyal family came to where I have been staying, asked me to go home to be a chief. Okay. So I said no. I have been said no for almost 5 years.
Is that Jonas?
Yes.
You said no.
Then the sixth time when they came, they said, we will not leave you here until you said yes, then we will go home. So even my husband said, no, I can't go to Ntakataka. What for? Can I just sit on the chair waiting for my wife to come with relish? Never.
Yes.
And even my children say, Mom, we can't go there. There's no electricity. You will go yourself. So I was alone. Then when they came for the fifth times, it was my husband. Before that, they came to where I have been working, asking the reverend to talk to them that we want this woman to go home to be a chief. We have already installed them to be a chief. Yeah. So even the reverend there, that time was the Reverend Nyelenda, who was the principal, said, no, we can't allow her to go home. Okay. She's our secretary here. We do not find anyone like her. She has been working with us for almost 27 years. So we can't let her go home. Yeah. So what about us? Then said, oh, no. Yes, you have 27 years. So far as we want also to be at home for 27 years. And that time, I don't know who told Dr. Bakiri Muluzi, because some of you have been in Zomba. Zomba Theological College and State House is nearby. So I don't know who told him what is going on at Zomba Theological College. Then he came there together with the incoming and outgoing president, Pete Bingwa Mutalika. And when they came there, even my principal shocked. Why? Why? We didn't even invite him to come here. So maybe it's you, who our secretary said, no, I didn't even invite anyone. Can I just invite anyone without you give me any information? Yeah. So he came there and he came straight to my office. Yeah. Then all the reverend came also in my office, and even the principal said, why, Your Excellency? You must let us know that you are coming here. They said, oh, no. Antamulungu, pepani, antamulungu. Sina bwelele inu ai. Ndabwelela mai winati, Zara Kachindamoto. Then my priest said, no, we have not Zara Kachindamoto here. We have Mrs. Ndovi. Ali, amen. I want her to be a chief at Ntakataka. They said, no, she can't go there. She is with us here. So whether you like it, our president or not, please leave our secretary to continue to work whatever she has done in our school. Yeah. They said, oh, yes, you said leave. I can leave her. While I want her to go home to be a chief. Never. I can't let her come here again tomorrow. Tomorrow we are taking her to go home because some of them, they said they didn't even know her. She has come here. She finished her school at Masongola Secondary School. Then she got to Chancellor College. And after that, she started working with Zomba Theological College. So we want to take this chief to go to Ntakataka. Yeah. Then when I talked to my husband by phone, he said, you know, if you want to go there, you will go yourself, but not my children. I don't want those scavengers to kill my children. No, it's better for them to kill you, but not me, not even my children. So I was stranded. What can I do? Yeah. Then when I talked to them, that my husband said no, then they said, oh, okay, let's go. We want to talk to him. Then when they came to my house, they talked to my husband that please, we sit down at home. Everyone choose your wife to be a chief. Yes, our culture said a woman cannot be a chief, but now things are changing. Yeah. So please, will you allow her to come to go home to be a chief? Then my husband said, no, I can't allow you to take this. She's my wife. 5 boys with her, yeah, and me. So today I said, I want to take your wife. What for? There's his brothers, big brothers there. Why don't you choose those brothers? So I said, no, we sit down, we choose her. Because her father said, you said you are Ngonis. So Ngonis, you said a woman cannot be a chief. But this girl should be changing all whatever nonsense you are doing. So we are following what her father has told us. So they stayed there almost for a week because they said we can't go home without her. Then it was my husband who said, hey, you, I have no money to feed your stupid chiefs. Just to go and said yes. I said, hey, are you sure? He said, oh yes, I'm sure. Then after that, I go outside and kneel down and said, oh yes, I will go home and I'll be with you. Oh, so is your husband? Said yes. So I said, oh yes, oh thank you. So after that, in the afternoon, I go to my office and I talk to my principal that I have said yes. I have been with you almost for 27 years. So even those people also want me to be there for 27 years also. So then after that, I was shocked because the president just came without any notice. Then when he came there, he just came straight to my office, not to go to the principal's office. So for me, I gave him a chair. Then I said, oh, I'm sorry, I want to tell my principal that you are here. No. I didn't come here for Muntu Mulungu. Never. I want to come here for Fumu. And Fumu. Tomorrow, we will give you transport from State House to take you to go home so that when you come there, then you must come to my office so that we can see where we can install you, the dates. So when he go out, I kneel down to God that who I am I. God, it's you who will make me to be a good chief. Because for me, only myself, I can't do it. I'm still young. So when I go home, it was, I didn't even dream that they can do that. Because when we go home, we reach Goromoti. Then from there's a lot of people waiting for me. So when we reach Goromoti, the driver said, oh, please, Chief, can you go outside? I said, outside to do what? What for? They said, no, those people, they want to see you. To see me for what? Then they said, no, please, Chief, please, go there and please, just only do this. Then I go outside. Then all of them, oh, our chief. Then there's litigation, dancing, there's, but why? Who told them that I'm coming today? Said, oh, yes, you are your family. Send messages to each chiefs, each group village heads, that the chief will be coming here on such date. So that's why they are here. Zasinta, zabwela kwa azimai. Zasinta, zabwela kwa azimai. So even when I go to Takataka, there's also a lot of people waiting for me. Then I also go out and greet them. Then after that, they came with me until I go to my home. Then there's a lot of people like Zinyalala. I can say Nyalala because there's a lot of people. So I said, what for? What are they doing here? Said, they're waiting for you. Well, all of these people waiting for me. Oh yes, you are chief. They are all your people, all of them. Said, oh, will you please give me 2 minutes? I want to go inside. Said, no. We can't give me 2 minutes. We'll give you 1 minute. You want to change your mind? Please, 1 minute. Then I go inside my house. I kneel down and pray to God that, please God, yes, you have blessed me, but you must continue to help me what I can do, because I don't know what I'm doing. So after that, I go outside. Then because everyone was quiet, they think that I said no. Then when I said, oh no, I'm here, now I will be your chief, I have already said only that day. So they are all meditation like that, dancing, ngoma, all cultures. I have 7 cultures in my area. All cultures was there. And there is a hyena came, so that they forced me to kukwenda pa hyena. So I was shocked. Why? Me? Oh no. Said no. We want you to be there, so that when you have on top of that hyena, then we want all of us to kneel down. Then I do whatever they told me. But I was shocked. A hyena. He will bite me. Then after we finished that, then there's the Njov elephant came. Then he just came with then they told me again to go up on top of that
Elephant.
Yes. Then I was shocked. What can I do? Amene satanga mpuno kundikoleka nkosimu amene yukutipai. Ngasipa ngotele jimpuno chicha. Then they just put the chairs, so I go on the chairs, then they just I just be on top of that. Then it was only 2 to 3 minutes. Then after that, I come down. Then there's a lot of meditation that, oh, chief, please, we have been going to your royal family to choose you. Yes, they said our culture woman cannot be a chief, but we must change. Yeah. So my installation was 27th December 2003. Then I did dream that the president can come to my area. Incoming and outgoing president came to install me to be a chief. So Bakirimu said we can't give you to be just only an honorary chief, but it must be senior traditional authority Kachindamoto. So after installation, I didn't know what is going on in my area. Then when I move around, I found out that a lot of girls, their babies on their back. So I think it's those babies is from their mommies. Then one girl, a baby was crying, but she didn't even respond to that baby. So I go there, hey, you, can you take this baby to your mother, please? Said, oh, no, chief, she's mine. Said, eh? What? She is mine. Then she take the baby and put on the lap and take her breast and breastfeeding the baby. So I said, you, what are you doing? I said, take this baby to your mother. Chief, it's mine. I said, So it's yours. Then the friend of that girl said, oh, yes. And her father, the baby's father is that boy who is there. So I said, you were Spindulo. Will you please come here? Said, who is Spindulo? I said, you are Chenibokos and Spindulo. Come here. Then when he came, he said, oh, hey, can you give me my baby? Then he just take the baby and, I said, hey, please, leave that baby to this girl. Who are you? Said, oh, this is my wife, and this is my daughter. Said, you. So you are a father to this girl. And so this girl, she's a woman. And, oh, yes, chief. Maybe you want to ask to invite you to come to my house. I said, you are foolish. You are very stupid. So I was confused. I didn't even sleep. That can I say I have 150 people in my area, while half of them with these young girls and boys.
Yeah.
Please, God, help me. I must do something. Then I call all my loyal families to come to where I've been working and ask them the story that I want to do this to terminate all marriages, early arranged marriages. Then the loyal family told me that, oh, you want to die soon, Chief. They will kill you. Those people will kill you. I said, okay, whether they kill me or not, but God will receive me with 2 hands. But whether you like it or not, I'm starting this. Please, please, Chief, don't do this. Your father didn't do this, and your brother didn't do this. So you have come, we choose you to be a chief. Then you start doing, I want to do this. Because we choose you to be a chief, so I said, did I come there and begging you to be a chief? It's you who came to Zomba Theological College.
That's right.
And said, whether you like it or not, we must go home to be a chief. So today you said what you are nonsense saying thing to me. Never. I will do whatever I want to do. I am a chief now.
That's
I
right.
have 100% authority for me, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
So from that day, I have been terminated about 242 girls, all of them back to school.
Come on.
And I'm the happiest chief because all of those girls and boys, when they came to my house first before they go to their parents. Chief, we are here now. So I said, what for? You are here, what for? What are you doing? No, we want to tell you that we are here now. What you want us to do now, you are here. You can see us. They wear sunglasses and what? Can you recognize us? Can you recognize me? I said, no, who are you? Chani Bogosi, Olokalanka, Spindle. No, my father is the Amulangeni. Then he just take his Jan, my son Jan, I said, you stupid boy. So it's you. I said, oh yes, it's me. Then I go to their parents. Then their parents said, the chief, why? What are you be here? I said, okay, you mocked me that time. That because I have no a girl, I have boys. So a boy is this one, and a girl is this one. They came from school, and they came to my house to talk to me that they are here. So I want to tell you that what I want at that time is what you have seen here. Can you recognize your children? I said, oh no, they are not here. They said they came next week. Because they wear sunglasses and can say they were like that. So they will come, you said next week. I said, oh yes, because school will be closed next week. So they will be here that time. I said, oh, okay, thank you. So I'm going home. Oh yes, Chief, thank you, Chief. Then after that, they said, no, don't go home, Chief. Then they take away those and their sunglasses. Then said, John, so it's you. Maria said, oh yes, here we are.
Yeah.
And you must kneel down, Mommy, and please just kneel down and talk to Chief that please, we are sorry. What I have been said to you, please forgive me.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I will do that. Then when she want to kneel down, say, no, don't do that. As far as you answer me for these boys and girls to go to school, that's all. So you too stupid, you and your girl, I don't want anything nonsense here. Please, don't talk anything to your mom or your daddy. You are here, that is what I want. So, oh yes, Chief, thank you. Then their mother came with me up to my house, said, oh, thank you, Chief, please forgive me. I didn't know what I'm doing. I said, oh no, I have already forgiven you as far as you give me those girls and boys back to school.
Yes.
I want them to be like that.
That's amazing.
So everything is possible for us chiefs to do what we can do in our area, especially for terminating marriages, early girl marriages back to school. And I can say, as I have already said, I didn't even dream when the airplane move around in our areas. We just say, hey, I didn't even dream that one day I will ride an airplane. But it was shocked when they invited me at Vital Voices Award to give me Vital Voices Award to go at the airplane. Then I just doing this. So, but when he go up and down, I said, hey. I got, what is it, Chief? And there's nothing. Until I reach America.
Yes.
So, thank you. And I'm happy because the first, I can say, all two girls, I can say women, they are there. It's the ones who give me global award.
Wow.
That you are our hero. So at John F. Kennedy Hall, there's a lot of people which I didn't even dream to look at those people.
Yeah.
I said, who am I to have all of these people waiting for me, for these two president ladies to give me these Vital Voices awards. So from today, even in my area, everything is possible because anyone knows already, even the chiefs, that if we forced these early arranged marriages, then the chief will dismiss me to be chiefs. So God is with us here.
Yeah.
So he must continue to help us what we are doing each and every day. Thank you very much, and thank you.
What an introduction. In Kosi, when you went to the village, they wanted to see you. Pajana, Nori Muzira? Muzira Elet? TNE Salt Conference 2022. Hey! Ndintau Yanga. Moving on from there, I'm going to go completely different. KBG, you are a creative, an entrepreneur. Tell us how you have used your leadership to bring about change in your sector.
Well, I think for me, it started in 2012. I grew up in a family where my mom used to say, if you want something, grow up, find a job, get money, and do it yourself. That time, she would only stress to us that what I'm giving you is enough for me. I'm giving you education, I'm giving you food and everything. If you want something extra, so we grew up with that mindset, and so you know your friends are rocking nice kicks, Johnny. You go to school, your friends are coming with laptops, and you go tell your parents, they're telling amwene kulani muzakalende ndamazanu muzakulezana. So like, you know what, I think I need to do something about it. So I started selling things while in school, like phones. I used to sell gadgets a lot. So they bought me my phone, the first phone. I sold it, made a profit, bought another one, bought another phone, sold it, all of those things. So growing up like that, I realized at a younger age that I think we shouldn't be waiting for someone to help us move from one step to another. If you really want something, you have to do something about it yourself.
Yeah.
And when people see it, trust me, people will see it. If you have passion about something, people will see it, and help comes after. Most times, not always, but most times, that's what happens. So When I finished college, I never wanted to do IT. I did IT, information technology, and I finished in 2012. When I told my parents that I wanted to go to school of music, you know how the story ends, right? In Malawi, you tell your parents, I want to do something creative. They look at you like you're crazy. Like, are you stupid? Like that Spindle guy, are you stupid? So I did what they wanted me to do. I did college, IT, finished. And then when I finished, I went to them respectfully. I told them that, you know what, now I'm done with school. This is what you wanted me to do. Can I now pursue what I want? And they said, they didn't have an excuse, you see. They said, okay, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to go to Lilongwe, because I was in Blantyre at that time. Like, what are you going to be doing in Lilongwe? There's no family there. I was like, I've got friends, you know. So they let me come here. And I came here with 2 speakers, a mixer, laptop, and what? And a microphone. So I used to stay with David Kalirani, Lawi. For those people who know these guys, we used to stay in the same house. So we stayed together for a while, and until this other day when we realized that we had to move out because they needed the house. So we were staying there for free, and all of a sudden we were told that you guys need to move, find something to do. And then that was like a wake-up call. I'm like, okay. And we started looking for a job. I started working with Team Veni. Fast forward, 2013 is when they offered me a job to be like a TV presenter. And from then, I worked with them for like 4 years until 2016 when I realized that I think my passion is going to be stuck if I'm going to stay in this place. Because I think there's a time when you, as a person, you need to realize your dream, your passion, see where you need to go, and if you're not careful, you can be stuck in a place and not move. So that's where I was in 2016. I realized that I wasn't moving. I was confined to the Team Veni space. And I went to my bosses and I told them that, you know what, I feel like I am growing as a youth and I need to expand. I have other side hustles. And trust me, by this time, I still was selling things. I didn't stop. So I used to sell phones, steal laptops, and people knew if you want some cool gadgets, even now, if you want cool phones, talk to KB. Yeah. And I told them that, you know what, I feel like we're growing, and as a youth organization, you're supposed to empower us to move from one step to another, so can you allow us to, at least, because I think I went there to ask for some days off, especially the days that I wasn't working. I asked them that I should be able to do my own thing in those days because I realized that it wasn't enough, the money that I was getting. Okay. And they said no. So like, okay, so how is that going to work for me? Because I feel like if you don't allow me to do extra side hustles, then I'm going to be stuck here. I also want to get married. I can't get married with 150 grand and feed my family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In 2016, that is. And I wrote a letter. I resigned. And trust me, guys, I didn't know. When I was writing this letter, in my head, I was thinking, these guys are going to say yes to my proposal. You understand? So I wrote it and I said, if you are not going to say yes to what I'm proposing, then I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. So now it's fine. In fact, they didn't even respond. Because I asked them that at least come back to me before the 1st of December because 2017 I want to start something else. Yeah. And they didn't respond. And I was like, you know what? I think if I am going to go back, then maybe that's it for me. Yeah. And I remember I was talking to Isabel just now that, you know what, I feel like sometimes these things happen for a reason. When you are caught up in that situation, sometimes, not all the time. Don't take my word for it. Like, KB told us to quit our jobs. I'm not telling you that. And when I quit is when all of these things started opening up. I realized my potential more, and I started, investing more into my passion. Mm-hmm. I started doing the clothing line there. I'm from Malawi, the Fresh Out of Malawi t-shirts you see now. And from then, I think I went back to Team Veni, not to brag, but to inspire my friends that, guys, I feel like we are going to be stuck if we are not going to move on out of our comfort zone, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in Malawi, we always feel like as young people, you are supposed to go to college, finish, and do a 9 to 5 all the time. But no, sometimes maybe that idea you have, that passion you have, is what is going to create jobs for other people. So if you're going to leave college and go and work, it means you're sitting on maybe 10, 20 jobs. So once I did that, fast forward, we are here. There's so many things that are happening in my life, but if you guys want the full story, we can always talk. But I believe that I'm a testimony of so many things, and I can tell you that there is something about hard work and consistency, you know. So if you have a passion and a dream, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because that's yours. It's what God has given you. It's yours.
Yeah.
So move with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Kungoti nthawi ina yake umakhala ukuyenda ku airport yayikulu eti yomwe umapeza kuti iwewe wasowa, then umaona wina wake kuti siwa ku Malawi uyo, then umaona shit pali I am from Malawi. Yeah, ainiyakashera amene ondati awakhala abawe. Zara, you're a lawyer. Tell us about how you have made change as a lawyer in Malawi.
All right, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm a lawyer by profession. So I did study law. I have a bachelor's degree in law, I have a master's in law, and I've got a postgraduate diploma in law. But I'm not a practicing lawyer. I'm not an entrepreneur, no. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, wait, so what do you do? So when I graduated from university, I started off as a lawyer. I worked for about 4.5 years in a law firm. Before graduating, I always knew I did not want to work in a law firm. And I always knew I did not want to do litigation. But, you know, when you come out of university, you have to make do with what's available. You know, like I think when Pastor Humphrey said earlier on, you start somewhere. And sometimes what you start with might not be the very thing that you want to do. But you also have to walk in that faith and that belief that I will eventually get to where I want to get to. So a bit of a backstory, when I was in university, during my postgrad diploma in law, I remember being introduced to a topic, money laundering. And everything in me screamed with so much joy. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Now, anybody who knows me, I'm a person who is for justice for people. I love, you know, to work with people. I want to serve people where I can, and I love to help in any way that, you know, I'm able to. So finding that topic at that time, I was super excited. But, you know, work started and I was not seeing any opportunities come in. And I remember applying for a job at Standard Bank in 2013, where they were offering that position. And I was like, ooh, finally, you know. And I went there with my lawyer self, with little knowledge on money laundering issues. And well, let's just say I failed that interview. I was not prepared at all. But as time went by, 4.5 years later, I got a job with Old Mutual as the money laundering and terrorist financing officer. So basically looking into those issues of financial crimes. And 2 years and some months later, I also moved, and now I work with the Financial Intelligence Authority. Honorable Sam Kawale mentioned that earlier, is that 2018, he was in Geneva presenting a paper on financial intelligence units. So I work for what is the Financial Intelligence Unit here in Malawi, and where we look at matters of financial crimes. Now, in terms of change, I can imagine that with what I have mentioned, when we're talking about financial crimes, that is something that is a work on its own that is looking to impact a sort of change in our country. Not just within Malawi, but globally. You know, issues of financial crimes are not issues that are just happening in Malawi. These are global problems. And I believe that in the nature of my job itself, you know, every day of what I do is working to assist and to help our nation and the region we're in to fight this evil that we have in our midst, you know. And for a little bit of a background, when we say financial crimes, we're talking about all manner of crime that once has been committed, you know, when you commit the crime, you're paid for it. So it could be issues of corruption, bribery, fraud, you know, wildlife trafficking. I'm sure you guys have heard of pangolins, yeah? How many of us know about pangolins? Yeah, we've seen the memes on pangolins. So these are the issues that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. But other than my work, I'm also quite an advocate of women, girl child education. So in the past, I have been involved in 2 charity organizations where I was a chairperson and just basically helping out in terms of providing tuition for students in UNIMA that were coming from backgrounds that were unable to support or sustain, you know, their education. So I have been in such organizations where I have led or helped to build an organization in terms of helping young women and upcoming women, and to just build and to help even in terms of career development. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I'm now going to move back to you, Honorable Kawale. So we've heard your experience and how you had to go through a few electoral processes and people chose you, and that at that time it was one of the easiest electoral processes that you went through. God gave you the vision, made the provision available. So I just want to understand, we have heard how you've used your leadership to bring change. Can you tell us what obstacles you've encountered since while trying to lead people and make change?
First of all, usually people people resist change because of fear.
Yeah.
Fear comes in different ways or forms or for different reasons. First of all, people are comfortable in their space. When you want to bring change, first of all, because of not knowing what the future is, they would instantly resist because that will break the comfort zone that they are in. And for you to be able to help them make that transition from where they are to a better place, it takes a long time. Now, you have to exercise a lot of patience. Change doesn't happen immediately. So first of all, you are supposed to build trust. They have to trust you. Share the vision. They have to understand the vision. Then take them through to the destination that you want them to be. It's very difficult to do this, especially with people in the village. Because of education reasons, but also cultural reasons, it's very difficult for you to take people in the direction that you want. So you're supposed to have those attributes as a leader as well, to understand that these are the obstacles. So that's the first one. The second one is simply because of beliefs. Because I'm in the political scene, people tend to align to a particular ideology. Sometimes not because they believe in that ideology, but they want to be seen to believe with that ideology, even if it's wrong. So the political affiliation also plays a big role if you want to influence change. I look forward to a time where people can be able to understand the greater good of the country, other than just to push the political agenda. And wish me luck on that one, because does seem to be a mission impossible. But those are the difficulties that we have. You go in Parliament, you have a very good idea. This is going to change the country. But because a political party has got a different view, or because they think you're going to take credit for implementing something good, they shoot it down. Not because it's bad, but the matter is who takes the credit. So those are some of the things that's another challenge that I've actually encountered when it comes to bringing about change. So there's the educational levels of the people and sharing the vision, but then the political influences that are also there. And the other one is just stubbornness.
Okay.
Yeah, people tend to be stubborn for no apparent reason.
Okay.
But that all boils down to how well you share the vision with the people to bring about change. But what I've also learned to appreciate and to apply longer is, despite those challenges, I don't consider those things as challenges. People like to use the word challenge, but I like using the word opportunity for growth.
Okay.
Because the word challenge is usually negative. But if you look at a challenge as an opportunity for growth, then you're going to be motivated to do greater things.
Okay.
So that's how I look at the obstacles, the opportunities for growth to achieve what I intend to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. A challenge is an opportunity for growth, it?
Yeah.
So we can all hear that Honorable Kawale is about influential change. You see how akuyankula pangono pangono, you know? Don't sagamba akuyankula ntima ukuthi izi, it? Following the principle that you catch more bees with honey, it? Inkosi, mwati uza Nkani, or you told us a story about a time where a lady came and said, "Oh, Inkosi, I'm sorry for what I said." Tell us or give us an example where it was hard for you to make change, or people were against you when you were trying to make change, but you still persisted and you made change.
Yes. At first it was, my brothers and my sisters, those people, they beat my brothers and my sisters. That look what she's doing now. Our culture, a woman cannot be a chief. So look what she's doing. You choose her. So look what she's doing. She started terminating early girl marriages and do this. For us, we want grandchildren. Not that's what she's doing, that stupid chief. And when they came to my house, they said, my royal family said, please, leave this chief, leave this chief. It is there for so many years. So you came here, said, "Hey, I want to terminate all girls' marriages. Please, they will kill you. You will die soon, you chief." So I said, okay, if they want to kill me, tell them that they must wait until I finish my mission. When I finish it, they can kill me, and God will receive me with 2 hands. So, it was very, very, I can say not good. Because even my donors, which I choose that time, they also beat them, those people. So from what I am talking now, they're the ones who are with me, working with me. Yes, because I said, no, don't worry. Just came, we must work together. "Oh, are you sure, Chief?" I said, "Oh, yes, why not? Please forgive us, we don't know what we are doing." I said, "No, because it's the first thing. They have been there for so many years." So when I came and started doing this, I think everyone was shocked. But I can't do it because for me, choko chondidaja. Nenga tinadaja choko, anawa satani, aje choko, patsogolo, azaje sewo wa choko. Because we are chiefs, yes. But when you said, you talk to you people, you are educated. When I said I want to do this, you will see that, oh, chief want to do this because it will do this. But the one who don't know how to speak English or do what, or she didn't know, or he didn't go to school, when you are doing things good, she will say, "I know, look what she's doing now. Hey, that stupid chief." But this, if we educate these girls, I think it will be, we will have a better area. So, as I can say now, have been terminated, about 2,545 girls, all back to school. Some of them, they are teachers, some they are independent doing small businesses, and some they have been at our andonama form and they employ them to be with them, to talk to them. Some of them, they are in Mangochi, Nchinji, Chisi. But when they came for holidays, they came there, and I didn't even recognize them that it's them, but they wear sunglasses. Then when they came, they said, hey, Betikos. Those men, boys. Then the girls are, Siko Maseko. Then I said, who are they? Then I go there, I said, oh, hello, how are you? We are fine, Chief. We came from Mangochi. We have heard what we are doing, terminated the girls' marriages. So we are here to see you, Chief, because we just see you on the phone, on the, I can say, TVs. So I said, oh, okay, thank you. You are most welcome. Sit down. Then they sit down. Then after 2-3 minutes, they take out the sunglasses. And I said, you stupid girls. Are you Maria? I said, oh, yes, I'm Maria. I want you to know that what you have done to us, now here we are. Wow. You, Chief, you didn't even recognize us. But what we want, Chief, we want you and us to go to our parents. So we will go there. We know that they will not recognize us. So when we go there, Chief, please obey us. We are your children. They treated you not good. They shouted at you, and they that because I have all boys, that's why I didn't know how. So I said, so why are you saying this to me? He said, oh, I want that woman, my mother. She will not recognize me the way I have in below these years. So we go there. When I go there, then I talk to their mother. That's all. I'm sorry. Oh, Chief, why? Why did you tell us that you are coming here? I said, no, it's these girls. They came from Mangochi. Yeah. They said they want to see Maria. Maria is not here. She's still at school. Oh, maybe she will come here next week. But she's her daughter. She didn't even recognize her. Then after we talked to them, I said, oh, so thank you. When she come, tell her that her friend has been here seeing her. So I said, oh, yes, I will do that, Chief. Then after that, we go home. Then after there, she changed the clothes and wear that dress which she wears that time. Said, are you stupid? What are you doing? Said, Chief, today you and me, we are together there. Because that he called my mother. He just say no such a thing to you because kudalutukwa ni dwatu. Chikunja cheni chijonti tukwana zokanga ndavule nenda ikapotelo pomaya ameni. That I dreamed every day. So I want me to go there. Why I dress this dress which I wear that time. Yeah. So that he must kneel down and said, please, Chief, forgive me. Because that time, even me, when I sleep at school, I didn't even sleep when I remember what she has done to you. So we go there. When we go there, then I said, oh, I'm sorry. This is the friend of Maria. She came from Lilongwe. She said she wanted to see Maria. Maria is not here. She's still at school. Your friend. Maybe she will come next week. Said, oh, I see. Oh, can you give her this when she comes? Then she give her the present which she has taken. Then when you go home, then said, we will go ahead with you. I said, are you stupid? I'm a chief. Can you respect me? Can I go there again two times? Why? What for? Said, no, chief, please, I kneel down. I want that woman, it's my mother, what she has done to you. I want her today to kneel down and to say, please forgive me. That's all, that is what you want. Yes. I have been dreaming when I was at school. So she just changed and wear whatever she wears. That time, then we go there again. Chief, you are here again. So I said, oh, yes. Then she said, Maria, you have come. Your friend was here. She came together with the chief. So where were you? Said, oh, mommy, 3 times. The chief terminated our marriages. And what she wants is that you have seen today. You didn't recognize me as your daughter. So now you recognize me because of this nonsense? Said, are you, Maria? So it's you who came with the chief again, 2 times. I have no God to give the chief. Please. Said, no, I can't say, give me a goat or what. The goat is what you can see she's looking.
Yeah.
So I told you that when you teach a girl child, you teach the whole nation. They must go back to school.
Yeah.
Then you just mocking me because that I have all boys. You don't know how a girl comes from. So here now she is. Then he kneeled down, she kneeled down and said, oh no, please, chief, forgive us. Forgive me and me, my husband. Please, I said, no, it's okay. As far as you take my girls back to school, it's okay. So I said, so you stupid girl, don't come again to my house, okay? Stay with your mommy here. Say, oh yes, chief, I'll stay with my mother. But now she's a doctor.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. And I guess just coming to this side quickly, because we're slightly running out of time, I just want to know from you, Zara, working in the corporate world, what kind of challenges and obstacles have you faced?
I think I'll just echo back what Honorable Kawale and Chief here have said. You know, where there is change, there is resistance. Where there's something new that people are not used to, something that is coming in and, you know, they have never maybe encountered it before, you find that there's a lot of resistance. I can take you back a few years ago when issues of know your customer were coming in, and a lot of people found it tedious and they thought, why are you bothering us with this information, you know? So I think in a nutshell, I'll say that as long as there's something new coming in, a lot of us are afraid to embrace change because we don't know it. We've never been in it before. We don't know what it brings. We don't know the possibilities it has. And most times, unfortunately, we're comfortable in our comfort zone, even if our comfort zone does not propel us to become better. So that, unfortunately, is what happens. There's always resistance. And in my career, I've also faced quite a lot. And I think we can chat later on outside when we're having a break for those that want to chat. Thank you.
Thank you. KBG, you quit your job. Munazi Josanoka. Kujiro mbakala randitu full conviction. Post-it mail. Mail osa yankidwa. Inogongota excuse basiru. Menezarele mundeguri if we were out. On your journey of being a creative entrepreneur, what obstacles have you faced in Malawi? And how have you overcome them?
I think the biggest one is you are a lonely person, you know. Lonely in the sense that you are like in your own world, because what you believe, what you are seeing in your mind is not what everyone else is seeing. So for you to convince people that what you are trying to do is going to be a game changer or it's going to change for the better, it's going to change people's lives for the better, it's somewhat it's like you're crazy, you know. So for me, the challenges that I faced, I think I'm going to talk about two. The first one is missing time with family, you know, because you're busy trying to, you know, push things to work. And the other thing is to having people believe in your vision. That's one of the biggest challenges also. I think if you ask any entrepreneur, they'll tell you that sometimes we need people to just believe in what we're trying to do. But it doesn't come easy because no one is seeing what you're seeing. Yeah. And lastly, I would say that in Malawi, we don't have structures to support entrepreneurs yet. They're coming there. It's a new thing altogether. It's still new. And if you're young and you're doing and you're pursuing entrepreneurship, it's a do or die type of thing. So you really have to be all in. Yeah. For me, I think what pushed me was I didn't want to go back home and say, Mom, Dad, I'm back. I didn't want to hear that. We told you the design was in the hobby jabbies. That I didn't want that. So I was like, you know what, this thing has to work. And making that, you know, putting in much effort so that I should meet my parents and they should see that, you know what, I think this kid is doing the right thing. That has been the biggest challenge of all time because they're always trying to check on you to see if you're really okay. Are you sure this thing is what you really want to do? Why don't you just get a job, you know? Because sometimes I'm a business, there's no show, there's no gig. So a parent is a parent. They'll always be, you know, concerned about certain things in your life. And I think as young people and as a young entrepreneur, I've learned that, first of all, I have to believe in myself and believe that it is possible if I put my 100% to it. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. I have one last question for everybody. And then after that, we'll start doing Q&A, and we'll give that a good 15 minutes so then we can break for lunch. But I'll start on this end. So the question is, what kind of leader does Malawi need, and what advice do you have for them in 2 sentences? I'll start with you, Honorable Kawale.
So the question is, what kind of leader does Malawi need?
And advice you have for them.
Advice. I think I will repeat what I said earlier. We need leaders who are available.
Great.
Malawi needs leaders who are available to rise up to the occasion that has been placed in front of them. My advice is, when such opportunities come, I'm using the word opportunity. When such opportunity comes, take it, don't be afraid to fail, and make sure that you do whatever you can to deliver, because that is going to open up opportunities that you might never have dreamt about.
Great. Thank you so much. Yoyambaed, be available, deliver. Inkosi, what kind of leader do you think Malawi needs, and what advice do you have for them?
Ndidali shocked interview ku Nigeria. Ndipo zidandikudza kwambiri. Kundikudza kwake ndakati izizi zikakhala kuti zimachitika kwathu. At least bwenzi tili ndi Malawi yotsogola, yophunzira komanso yabwino. Komanso kumva kuti amene akuchita bwino mu Africa muno ndi Nigeria, ine zidandikhudza kwambiri. Zinthu ziwiri zimenezi. Kupezeka kuti president amakhala ndi nthawi yocheza ndi achinyamata. Kumafunsa maganizo awo, zosowa zawo, kuda kusowa chiyani, nanga sukulu wanu ndiyati kumalemba zijeni awo. After that, amathandiza. Amene alemba kuti aife timavutika mwakuti ngasiyali yasamakhala nkapepala kumalemba kukaika nkabokisi ndi ma bodyguard aja amatenga akapita state house konkumaka patsa president kuona kuti isukulu epute kuti palana mwakuti tipangeza kuti tithandizira mwakuti choncho akaendanso opita mbali ina akachezeso ndi ana asukulu aja kwalimbikitsa kwaunikira kuti ayinunso tifuna kuti mudzakhale ngati president monga kuno ife ndeti tinchitsanzo chenicheni fatakhala ndi president wachizimayi chifukwa akhoza kutiuzanso ife azimayi kuti ayi tifunanso nana azimayi muzikhalanso ma president kubwera kuno zida nditenga otiloko mmene ndimapita kulumu kagona ndinali ndimaganiza amene kwathu chedekati akupanga chonchi akulu athuwa bwezitakhala ndi beta Malawi ndi mpaka nadziti posama Nigeria okhala nambala 1 momo khala ife 1 wadzikhala 15 nde zimenezi ndizofunika ndithu tatsogoleri athu at least adzikhala ndi nthawi yocheza ndi ana athu kumaderako kumalimbikitse fa kuncheza nawo kokhaku anaja amadzimva komanso loko apita sukulu amadze kuti ine kakhala sukulu ndifuna dzakhale mupi ndifuna dzakhale ngati auje ndifuna dzakhale ngati ayi ambition imeneyo ndi imene mapangitsa kuti country ikhale kuti ndi country yabwino komanso country yotani yomvetsa kumaphunziro.
Zikomo. For the second time, ambition and being able to tell big people what you want. Zara, for you, what kind of leader do you think Malawi needs, and what advice do you have to give them?
All right, for me, a lot has been said, and I think it captures quite a lot of what I already believe in, but just to add on to that, be bold, be courageous, be fearless. Be the kind of leader who's bold, who's courageous and fearless. Also be an honest person. You know, honesty seems like it's somehow running away from us. You can't get zemba, you know? Ethical, have morals, have a stand. What do you stand for? That which you stand for is what will carry you. Because when you stand for something, you will not fall for anything. So I think that's very important. And also be prayerful. Let God be your guiding light. Let him be your direction. Have that close relationship with God. Have a relationship with the Holy Ghost where he says to you, Uku ai, easy ai. Panse upaja, I'm a tofunsa bribe a police. 2,000 kwajadu. Kanani. Have that stand. It's not about pleasing anybody. It's not about this one has to see me or that one has to see me. It's about who is seeing you there. When nobody else is seeing, that's what's important. And in terms of my advice to the upcoming generation, be humble, sit under someone, have a mentor. You'll never learn leadership on your own. And I'm sure Honorable Kawale here has mentors. I'm sure Chikondi has mentors. I'm sure Chief here has mentors. I'm sure KBG has mentors. I'm sure Pastor Humphreys has mentors. Have a mentor. Not one, you can have 2, you can have 3. Have a mentor. And lastly, my go-to scripture, Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, whatever work you're doing, do it unto the Lord. That will keep you going, because you will not work as if you're working for man. You will not work to please anyone. You work to serve the Lord. What Honorable Kawale said, service. So even in your work, serve. And you're not serving man, you're doing it unto the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you. So to be courageous, to trust in God, and to serve everything that you are doing, your job, your community, as if you're doing it unto the Lord. KBG, what kind of leader does Malawi need, and what's your advice to them?
I think we need leaders that understand that we are living in different times, that this generation is totally different than the one that they were brought up in. I think we need leaders that are going to understand that the old ways are not working anymore these days. Some are working, but some are not working.
Yeah.
So leaders that understand, even if you look around the world, if you see countries progressing, you know that these leaders that are pushing so hard these days are leaders that are bridging the gap between the old and the new generation. So it's sad that Malawi, to some extent, we don't have such leaders that are conversant with the digital world. Others are, but a lot of them are not. So we are stuck in this frenzy where we're trying to progress. You move 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You know, like I'll give you a practical example, right? We can't run away from it, but it's happening. The devaluation thing has caused so many setbacks for young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
One of which is if you go outside of the country, for example, or if you want to buy things online, you are limited. You know, Reserve Bank has put a limit to how much money you can spend online. We were able to buy stuff previously, but now we can't. You have to apply to a bank. And then they should open up the access for you to be able to do transactions online, which is somewhat crazy, looking at the fact that we're in 2022, where everything is going digital. And the other example would be now, if you want to buy things, you have to go through all the systems that are there. MRA is charging ridiculous prices, like tax and all that kind of stuff. And then you ask yourself, are we really going to progress? Are we giving an opportunity for the young generation to prosper, or we're just trying to push them down?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that era when young people are going to be able to do business freely without thinking twice about it. Because right now, you start thinking twice about either pursuing entrepreneurship or going back home or doing a 9-to-5 because of so many challenges that are there. And my advice would be, there's so many things to do. You know, people say, hey, Malawi ndi kumpanje, hey, Malawi zopfuta nzambiri. But you know what? Problems are opportunities. So we have so many opportunities as young people. And a lot of young people are exposed right now, which means you've got a lot of solutions to Malawi. Go on YouTube, man, learn. Don't just, I keep saying this, don't just spend your time doing my social media mangos. Most of the time, 4 hours scrolling, TikTok, twerking, hey, this and that.
Akuseka chifukwa mabanga nawo.
Yeah, I know.
Azuzuleni.
That the instant fame that you're looking for on these social media platforms, if we can have the same energy to bring about change, probably we would do, there will be a lot of progress. So I would say the time that you have now, you will not have it in the next 20 years. This is the time for you to invest in yourself, your vision, your career, and do it. Because this time that you have now, you won't have it in the next 24 years coming. Thank you.
Thank you. So the 4th piece of advice, don't just be scrolling it or going on TikTok but go on YouTube and learn a skill. But he also said that, we need leaders who can do things that are a mix of the old, but also are courageous enough to embrace the new. So we've sat here for a long time. We've heard so many different things. I've asked my questions, but I think in the next 15 minutes, I'd just like to open it up to the audience. Ngati muli ndi funso, chakuntima chanu, choti mufuna muwafunse anthu akhala papawa. Pakhala microphone. Zach Abo, alindi microphone. You can raise your hand, you can ask a question. Chakuntima jo mutoji funsa. And you just mention the person that you want to answer the question, and they'll answer the question. So the floor is open. There's a hand. Great. Akutamanga. Kuone sesa kuti niyo funso lanu mufunse.
Okay, my question goes to KBG. How were you able to come up, how were you able to find out the gap and the opportunities that made you to come up with your very first brand, which I'm so sure is, I'm from Malawi. how were you able to realize the opportunities and the gaps in the entrepreneurship industry?
Okay, as I already mentioned earlier, I see gaps, you know, and that time I saw a gap that we didn't have a lot of Malawian brands that were celebrated. And I took it upon myself to do that. And it was also the right time, I think, for me, because we had just released the song, the I'm From Malawi song, and it had trended. And I think if you listen to that song, what we're saying in the song is, be proud of who you are. And, you know, like, take pride in the fact that you're a Malawian. And the brand exactly means that. I wanted people to see me wearing that I'm From Malawi t-shirt, and they should ask themselves, why? And then I should explain. You know, because I believe that we are so talented. It's just that maybe we are in Malawi, but we are so talented as young people. We have so many creative flow and all of these things. But then to a point, we kind of like feel ashamed to embrace the fact that we are Malawians, because the world is looking at us, the poorest country, so we've always grown up to hate and not love our country. So the I'm From Malawi brand came about from that aspect. I believe I am great, I can do whatever everyone else is doing in the world. And when people ask me, how come were you able to do this thing, I should be able to say it proudly that I am from Malawi. You know, so I took that chance, and here we are.
Yeah, great question. I see another hand over there. Atika Nambwalo. The next question, if a guy, there's something in your chest, please feel comfortable. Ndintawi ya nonso.
Fuso yanga ndifusa njijewa kwa amfumu. Ananena zokuti anawapanga like anamene analokuti ali kumabanja anawabwezakwe chifukwa anakhanga kuti apanga encourage kuti asiye like mabanja awapire abwere ku school. Ndeno anena zokuti almost ka 2009 student ana achisikana kandi anyamata onse anakwanisa kuti abwereso ma school. Ndiye ndimadabo nena zokuti nthawi zambiri mamizi muje anambira apezeka zonena zokuti akukwatiwa chifukwa chonena zokuti alibe ma resources onena zoti akuzokuthandizikira kuti apite ku school. Ndiye anena zokuti like anakwaniritse. Ndiye mafuna ndiziwe na unena zokuti ndizonena zokuti makolo aja anali ndi access yokuti they had money kuti anawa akuza kumalipirira like school fees, koma anawo ndamene anali nkhutu kumve kuti sanakwaniritse like kuti apite ku school kapena panapezeka mizi ina yake.
Titela kuti poyamba zinali zovuta zedi. Chifukwa choti tikatetsa makwati aja makolo amanena kuti ife tilibe china chilichonse choti amene tingathe kunthandiza, ndipo tinu gogo mwatero, it's up to you. Komabe ineyo nalinso ndi ma meetings ama headmasters aziphunzitsi onse kudera kwanga sanayambe initiative imeneyi dawalongosolera kuti ndifuna oyamba kuchita terminate early girls marriages. Ndiye ndidziwa kuti zimene zizikhala makolo kothawira nkoti ife tilibe chani, tilibe ene means yoti tingathe kualipirira anawo monga ana akakhala kupita kuti ku secondary school. Yeti iwo amatophika kachaso omagulitsa kuphika mowa magulitsa abambo wake odeire kuledzera mowa, kodi ngati bambo aledzera mowa akungomolere mowa mmesa ndalama. Maiyunso tazimaiti nanso timaledzera nsomowa kwambiri, tilidzandidzandi m'midzimu, timakama mowa ulere ndi ndalama. Ndecho ndi mafumu thandizeni. Mfumu imene ilize mkonono ikupenya, mfumu imene ndichotsa. Chifukwa choti ine ndifuna ananga watani aphunzire. Ineyo ndadya kachoko, ubwino maphunziro ndikudziwa. Ndesu tingachoka ine kuzomba kubwera kuno kumaona zawo chitsiru ngati zimene zikuchitikazi, ayi sizoona. Nde meeting imene ndinayendera group ina aliyense fanira adziwa kuti ndikati adzibwera ku headquarters kwanga kuno sabwera, koma dzikapezera makwawo momwemo ndimakawunikira kuti mbatayi tilibe ndalama pamene muti mulibe ndalama koma mupezeka madzulo mwaledzera mowa kujangala mwama mabotolo 3 4 kodi kandalama kameneko mutati mwasunga for a week si fees ya mwana yakwana komanso uniform yapezeka ndechonde apapa wina akangotika mfumu imene ndikuichotsa oti ndinachotsapo mafumu about 42 amene amachita disobey my bylaws yanga onsewo atabwera kuti ayi chonde taisetsana wali umakalasi musatero gugu chalo then ndimayambira ma headmasters amasukulu mmenemo ati Maria Petula ali kumeneko oye gogo tathokozako basi ana nzeru ifeyo timadandaula zedi aliko kapena mufuna muyankhulane nawo ndimati ayi chikulu ndadziwa kuti ana wali ku sukulu choncho basi kenaka ndimabwera kuti ayi now you are talking you can go munena zona mfumu ndati you can go kaufumuko fama bwera ndi mafumu omwe ngati akamabwera kwa gogo chala amene mabwera ndi mfumu ndeno ndimambo chotsa fumuyo kenaka mwana konso kukatinikiza kuti kamwana kameneka kakitobey my bylaws pasala 3 days ndeno tikatelo ndewo aja fumu aja mafofomo kuti ine zotu ndichotsetse pampando panga payi ingopanga pakali pano zimene mapanga azotenga mwana wako tiye tikasiya ku sukulu ndeke nakaona ma headmasters ako ndimbira gogo anaja abwera tathokoza kwambiri chonde tithandizeni kuti anawa ndi anata nzeru timene tinachoka sukuluti tathokoza kwambiri ngati ayi tathokoza ndeti makhalanso ndi kumwana ndo ma headmasters kwaunikira kudera kwangaku kuti ayi iwo adzithandiza kuona kuti mwana wakhala almost a month adzindilongosolera kuti tidzichita follow up kuti kodi mwanayo wakhala mwezi wothunthu chachitika njani atsikana ambiri amapezeka kuti sanapita sukulu ife choti ali ndi zimimba kuti anzawo adzikatana adzikaseka ndeno ndimoja timatetsano timaukwatiro nkwadikira kuti achire akachira mwanayo khololo lisunge mwanayo ngasiye ati amafuna zidzukulu nde chidzukulu chimenecho asunge mtsikana apita kuti ku sukulu nde timachitira zikomo kwambiri.
Ayinkosa mauza azibambori siyani kumwa mowa ndipo azimayi zizukulu izasikana zipitani ku sukulu sindota yanga anyamata alimba mtima ndaona zanjabo amaikrofoni ali kuti tamange
ale pano
abereka kale tafunsani.
Okay, my question goes to KBG and the Honorable Minister. I've seen a lot of you have been given chances or opportunities to. Okay. I've seen a lot of you have been given chances or opportunities maybe to lead or to have a certain position in a society or a government. But in the end, anthu amene wawa mabizoti atikhumudwisa anali ndi vision yabwino komanso kama before that anali anthu kuti umaona kuti huyu has the potential koma after being given this opportunity amabizoti kuti atikhumudwisa akanika kukwaniritsa zinthu zimenezi. Why do you think kuti chimapangitsa anthu amene wawa kuti akanike kufikira mulingo umenewu?
Well, because I have never been given the opportunity to be there yet and to change, I wouldn't really know what happens. But maybe let me just, from the top of my head, ndikuona ngati mwina anthu ambiri akamapanga chinthu chonawo kuti sakuchipanga out of passion. Akafika pamalo pona kuti chilichonse chimene amafuna moyo mwawo achipeza, they don't care about anyone else, you know. So mwinaso it's a lesson to us kwambiri kuti we should start choosing my leaders based on passion yawo. Because sometimes I think my leaders are many timasanka, not only in politics but everywhere, amakhala kuti angotulukira out of nowhere. Ena oti somwina siti mapanga follow kuti moyo wawo ndotani. But if you follow a person and see trail ya moyo wao kuti imaenda bwanji, you would be able to know kuti awawa think akazangofika level ena they won't care about the well-being ya anthu ena. So ineyo I would say kuti imakhala kuti anthu ambiri they don't really care about the people, they don't see kuna kuti importance yake yothandiza anthu ndi chani akafika pamalo amene ajawo. I don't know, maybe Honorable has something to say about that, but that's what I think.
All right, thank you. 3 or 4 things. First of all, ndikuona kuti vuto lalikulu Malawi munomu achinyamata, we are not prepared for leadership. Pamakhala tinene kuti tikamapita ku school, college, rarely do you find a course on leadership. We focus so much on geography, economics, whatever majors that you are taking, but rarely do you hear of a curriculum specifically about leadership. So which means we as young people, we are being set up for failure. Our education system is setting us up for failure. If we were equipped with this knowledge, say starting from 1st year to 4th year, leadership classes or courses, we would have more young people rise up to the occasion after being requested to be in leadership positions and deliver, firstly. Secondly, people come to us and ask us to be in leadership position for selfish motives. And we don't have an opportunity to scrutinize them to find out if they are genuine for them to be in that position. So nafeso tisamathamangire kungoti poti munthu wanena watipatsa vision inakeso yabwino kwambiri ife kungothamanga kunena kuti amene atithandiza. So nafeso tiliso ndi responsibility yoti tizimudziwa munthu amene akuti atitsogolerayo. So don't just fall for anyone who says they can lead, because in the end we'll be disappointed kuti they haven't led us very well. Thirdly, we have so high expectations of the person in that leadership position, and we put so much pressure on them without understanding context. So it's very important if a young person is given a leadership position, why can't we rally around that person nkumuthandiza kuti apange succeed? Chifukwa also what I've seen is achinyamatafe, we have also the ones who contribute to that failure because we attach unrealistic expectations on that person. So we also need to be very realistic as to what that person can be able to do with proper assistance, and we should be the ones to go and help him to succeed. So that is also another thing we are supposed to understand. We should also be able to take the blame. Could we also contribute to their failure? Lastly, leadership is from God, and rarely do we pray for them. And that is something that every leader in the world needs, a lot of prayer. And that prayer should not just be kupita klani apa tikupempherereni just kuti atione kuti timatha kupemphera tapempherera. But powerful prayers are the prayers that you do in private between you and God. So a lot of young people, yes, they are failing to succeed. They've been given opportunities to be in leadership positions. They're failing to deliver because of those 4 things that I've mentioned. So let us contribute to their successes by being available, make sure we encourage them, we pray for them, and we don't exert unrealistic expectations on them. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another question over there.
Okay, fusolanga ndifusa nchijewa nafua nitafusa loyayo. Maloya ena amatoyimira nkhani yoti munthu automatically munthu yowochita wapha mwachidule osati kuti amadzitete wapha munthu ifuti amadzitetezayi koma wapha ndithu mwadala. Kupeze kuti maloyawo akampakira munthu uja komano munthu uja ali ndikuwina nkhaniyo komano munthu ndi wolakwa. Funso langa lakuti kodi inuwo maloya simulimbikitsa kuti anthu amene ali ndi ndalama aziyire zinthu zimenezi mwadala?
My disclaimer, I'm not a practicing lawyer. But I can answer. Remember, ntchito ya lawyer tikakaphunzira ndi ntchito beti. Ndekuti everyone who is a lawyer has to fit their journey. But you know, the way law works, it's not as easy as just going into the court and saying, this one killed someone, therefore, apite kundende. My lawyers are German law banka prepare based on my laws, you know, and the law also says, Kudijani, you're not guilty until proven guilty. So my laws moja, makala ma rules, siana, that are part of how lawyers go in court and fight my cases. Those rules have to be followed. So I think what I can say is, sukuti mwina makha kuti muntu joga mpangitsa muntu kuti or awine or just to encourage my criminals kuti aziwine. But the law court, the law itself or the courts of the law, when you go there, it's a fight. And the best lawyer or the best candidate, I would say, or the best party wins. That's the most I can put it at. The best would win. You might have a strong case, but you can lose if your lawyer or the person that's standing for you is not equipped with the knowledge. You find people. You can find a good okay, I'll give an example of Honorable Kawale here. You see he's a man of stature, but he goes in the courtroom, and when the lawyer starts, you know, bombarding you with a question, people whimper away. People, you know, have no answers, even though they have a strong case. So zimatengera mafactors ambiri. It's not necessary kuti lawyers go and make people win. No, the lawyer just goes and fight the best case, and the best person wins. But to add on that, not all the time is it as simple as that. Sometimes, like I mentioned earlier on, we've got complex issues where you've got corruption also involved. So unfortunately, that's the legal system that we also deal with, where sometimes, in as much as it's supposed to provide justice, it doesn't really provide for that justice. Thank you.
Hi.
Yeah. My question goes to Honorable Sam Kawale. You seem a very busy man. I'm not sure if you have the time for your family. So my question is to know, how do you schedule time to manage all the positions or activities you have? Yeah.
Thank you. That's another thing that needs to be taught in school, time management. The way I run my life is I'm not a jack of all trade, meaning that I don't know everything, but I'm able to identify people who know things that I don't know. So what I do is a lot of coaching and mentorship. The things that I do, when I start something, I identify people who can be able to do what I want to be done. So even though I work in the village with the projects that I run, we run fantastic projects. Through years, I would bring students from college, they'll come and do internship. And then out of that, I'll identify who is able to do the work that I do. So I have two very able young people who are running all the projects out in the village. So I do coaching and mentorship. So although I manage that, but these are the hands and feet and the brains on the ground. I'm involved in businesses. It's the same thing. I'll bring in people, coaching and mentorship. Then once I find out that they're good, I recruit them. So for me, I don't advertise to say, I have this position, it needs to be filled in. I hunt for people. So I let people come, they do mentorship, we do internship, and then once they do a good job, I recruit them. So that's how my businesses are also running. I can go to my businesses twice a month, once a month, and I am very comfortable because I know they are being run with the right people. Even as I'm running up and down politically, I have counselors on the ground that I've spent so much, so I invest my time in them so that they know how I think and how I want things to be done so that they can be able to run on their own. So even if I'm not in the constituency, I have people who are running on my behalf. So that's how I manage my time. And for your information, in the busy schedule that people have, that politicians have, I always make sure that I schedule all my meetings between 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. I don't schedule meetings at night because that's my family time. And you are lucky I'm here because Saturday and Sunday, I'm with my wife and children. And that's how I schedule my time. Yeah. So that's a very long response, but time management is extremely important. Learn to delegate, learn to coach people, learn to have other people come alongside you and help you achieve what you want to do. Yeah. Thank you.
Ine funso langa ndimafuna ndifunsa afumu. Mugamba zonena kuti mabanja mateta oneura akwatira ang'ono ubazore mwina amayi amamomowa abambo amamomowa kudango bazore bakhomobo amayi sakumwamowa abambo sakumwamowa kumathandizo ali nkupititsa mwana ku sukulu palibe one kuti mwana akwatira ang'ono kuti mathandiza bwanji.
Ayi pepani titela kuti poyamba ntchito imeneyi tidayitanizana tonse magrupu komanso ma village heads kudzalongosolera kuti zimene tikuyamba pakali pano ndi izi. Komanso sinazisire pomwepo ndidayenda zidanditengera 2 weeks ndikuzungulira dera langa. Ndimapita kwa group aliyense kuti tsiku lakuti ndidzapita kwa group timetable napereka timetable kwa group aliyense kuti pamene ndikubwera aliyense akakhale pati pamenepo ndipo ndimalongosola zimene ndikufuna kuyamba kupanga. Kodi kudali kumenyedwa ma loyal family anga monga azichimwene anga azikulu wanga komanso abanja la chifumu amene anandisankha ine kuti tonani zimene wayamba mayi wanu nzimayi wanuzi awakacha a woman cannot be a chief. Look what she is doing. Inu dzitsiru ma stupid loyal families nde amenewo pakali pano ndi amene ndinawo pa bwalo langa natenga kuti tione kuti nanga si stupid chief ndi amuone kuti si stupid chief uja ndi ndi ameneyo ndi atabwera UN talongosolera nkhani imeneyi kwauzaso kuti ndayitanitsa kuti abwere koma ena amachokera kutali adagulira zinjinga oti amabweranso pa zinjinga. Nde ndimene mukunenera ndimene muyankhula chilichonse chimafunika anthu mugwirizane kudera mupange zinthu zogwirizana pena pakawola konzani pamene paolapo. Tsono konze enu wake choyamba zimachokera ku village zikachoka ku village zifike pa group kuchoka ku group zimabwera kwa atiye ndi amamasula china chilichonse kaya mwina ndakuyankhani eti sikoma kwambiri.
Okay, so we'll take your question, then we'll take one last question, then we can all break for lunch. So for the last question, if you want your question to be the last question, keep your hand up, and by the grace of God, Zach will pick you. But please go ahead.
Mine is not a question per se, but it's a comment.
Okay.
So I work in HR at Standard Bank, and thank you all to all the panelists. I think you touched on a topic that's closer to my heart, leadership. And Honorable mentioned about it not being in part of our curriculum in Malawi. And it's something that we as young leaders need to be so much aware of. And it's a skill that is not really taught in school, but it's something that we need to consciously or deliberately make moves towards learning about it. So I just wanted to introduce a phenomena that we usually teaching in courts at our organization, and it's something called future skills. So KBG mentioned something about the gap that's there between the leadership of then and the leadership of now, and it's future skills, and these skills are not taught in school. One of the future skills is leadership, for example, and one other one that I want to introduce now is emotional intelligence. So there's something about emotional intelligence that we don't learn in school, even in college, in secondary school, in primary school. We don't learn, even in our family setup, we don't learn about emotional intelligence. But it's a very important skill that as leaders, as we're growing, we need to have it. And I think a famous philosopher said something about know thyself. I think you can Google a book by Daniel Goleman, titled Emotional Intelligence, and you can read about it. It's one of my best books, and it's one of the best sellers that can even give you a lot of skills that you'd want to know. But know thyself. I think it's something that you need to start yourself as you go into this leadership journey and as you go about trying to change the world. Secondly, I also wanted to speak about coaching and mentoring, something that's also close to my heart, something that I am testimony of. I think we can chat at lunch if there's anyone who would want to chat with me around coaching and mentoring. I would want to go into the definitions, but in the interest of time, I wouldn't want to do that. But if we look at coaching and mentoring, really, as young leaders or as young people, there are a lot of things that happen around us. There are a lot of things that can take us away from the goal that we would want to have, whatever it is that we are aspiring to be. But if you have someone who's there to guide you, who's there to coach you, and I would want to speak to you, Honorable, you've spoken about coaching and mentoring quite a lot. But if you want somebody to guide you, know someone who you think inspires you. In that way, you're able to learn how they have gone through their journey, how they'll teach you to go through your journey. So it's another skill, it's a future skill that as aspiring leaders, we also need to have so that we can also give to other people. But as well, we can seek it from other people. So it's something that we can explore. I'll stop there, but we can chat if there's anyone who'd want to take it further. Thank you.
Great, thank you. The future skills, Funsolo Maliza.
Nimafuna ndifuse Honorable. Kwambiri fusulanga anthu akakaguri akupanga zinthu lese kuti ali ndi vision ambiri mwayi amakaguri ndi anthu abwino ndi vision awo zoti ndiopindula ndithu kwano mbiri mwayi mati mwina akakuti vision ija izateka asankhidwa kuti mwina ndatsogolere pena pake apeza kuti amasintha ndeno umene ndamvera nkhani yanu zionetsa kuti ndithu simasintha ndeni mafuna ndingodziwa kuti chani weniweni chimene chimakuthandizani kuti musakhale munthu wosintha chifukwa ambiri mwayo amakhala ndithu vision abwino kumali ngati mwa vision yawo amasintha kwamba upanga zinthu zosakhala bwino ndeti mafuna ndingodziwa kuti ndi chani chimene mupangisani kuti musakhale ngati munthu wosintha.
Yeah, ndizoona munthu ukakhala pa udindo kapena akakusankha vision imatha kusintha chifukwa zosiyanasiyana. Pressure imakhalapo yambiri kuchokera ku mbali zosiyanasiyana, koma chimene ndidaphunzira ndichoti ngati ukuzindikira kuti udindo umenewo anakupatsa ndi Mulungu, you should only change if God tells you to change, not people around you. Chifukwa if people ended up asking you to be in that position, it means they saw something in you. And that something came from God. So don't change your vision or your plans because of other people are wanting you to change. You should only change if the originator of that vision tells you to change. And you are supposed to have my principles and values. And one thing that I've also learned over time is a lot of people, a lot of young people, they don't know how to say no to things. A lot of people, they want to be relevant to what is going on around them. Relevance is good, but it can also destroy you. If you are trying to be relevant but that relevance is against your principles and values. So learn to say no. Because I have a lot to lose if I do what other people say than if I do what God wants me to do. So I have said no to so many things. And in fact, by saying no, I have gained more followerships than by saying yes. I want you to understand that. If you stick to your principles and values, more people are going to respect you than if you keep on saying yes to everything. Chifukwa ntamada ndiophweka. Ndikampempha chinthu amangopanga zimene tikufuna. You become a puppet of people. So I will not change just because I want to be relevant, and I will not change because I want to please someone. I will continue to maintain my values because I know the goal that I have in life. I know the vision that is out there. And that's why I've tried to be consistent with what I do. And yes, I've done so many things against the establishments that I belong to. And I don't compromise on that one. And if you are lucky, the establishment around you ends up compromising to align with your vision. And that's how God works. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we have a very good example right here. Okay? She went into an establishment, but she stuck to what she thought it was good. And in the end, the establishment around her and culture and tradition is much stronger than any other establishment. But because she stood her ground, she's able to influence even internationally. So a living example right there that we should all follow. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much to every panelist here. What an enriching time it has been. We have learned so much more on leadership in the past an hour and a half than we ever did in school, university, EDC. So Honorable Sam Kawale, thank you so much for your time. Snr Chief Kachindamoto, thank you